What's up guys, Learning with Rich here. In this video, our last video for basic learning for Autodesk Revit 2024 for architecture, we're going to learn how to add dimensions or create dimensions, add notes, and create sheets on our Revit model, on our architectural model. Alright, so let's do this. So the first thing that we'll be doing is we're going to add dimension. So let's say you want to add the total dimension from the exterior side of this wall here on the west side up to the east side here. So let us just click this icon here. So that's the tool that we need. So the shortcut for that is DI. All right. So you can click that one and then you can check out the properties here. What are the available styles that you would like to use? If you don't have, let's say, oh, I want 2.0 mm. Okay, you don't have 2.0 here, so what you do, just duplicate that. So just edit the type and then duplicate it, and then you can change the name here. So let's say 2.0 mm Arial, and then just okay. There you go. And then of course you need to look under the text category, change the text size here to 2.0 or just 2. And you can even change here the font, change the background, okay, the width factor, underline, italic, or bold. Okay, so for this one, I'll just select here okay. And there you have it. So I now have the 2.0. Okay, so that's how you create a new dimension style. All right, so for this one, I'll just use 2.5. Okay, and then I'm gonna make sure that wall faces here is selected, and then the pick option here is individual reference. So I'm going to pick the exterior side of this wall here. So just click that. You just need to pick 2 points and then just zoom in and then click that one. And there you go. All right. Okay, so now the next thing that we will be doing is we're going to add dimensions to our grid. Okay, so same procedure. So let's say I'm going to pick grid 1, click that, 2, and then click it continuously. Okay, all the grids. And then you move up your pointer and then it will snap to a certain distance. You can see it's snapping like that, see? And then you just click outside. There you go. Okay, and there's also another option in adding your dimension. You can change here the pick option. So while we are still on placing dimension, so you can click the drop down arrow here and then you can select entire walls, and then you can select here options. So let's say you want to include the openings which snap at the center or snap at the width. So for this one, I'll just select here center. You can also add dimension to your intersecting walls and intersecting grids, which I'm not going to do. So I'm just gonna use openings on the centers and then okay. So as you can see here, pick the entire walls. So I'm going to pick the entire wall. So I'm gonna pick this. There you go. And then I'm going to pick this wall here as well. And as you can see on the opening, it snaps at the center because that's our settings. Then I'm going to pan, and then I'm going to pick this wall too. There you go. And then I'm going to move up and just click outside. There you go. And then just select here, modify. Okay, so that's how you place your dimension. So if you go to the annotate tab, so you have several options here to place your dimension. So if you have time, you can explore all of these dimensioning tools for aligned elements, linear, angular, radial or radius or diameter here we have, and we also have arc length dimension. All right. So now the next thing that we'll be doing is let us add annotation to our plan view. Okay, so we're going to add an annotation. Again, we're just going to use this floor plan, which is store floor. Okay, so let's place our notes. So I'm going to zoom into this area. So let's say I want to put a note here that says all store fixtures by owner. Okay, so to add that notes, so just click that icon or you can type TX. That's the shortcut. So you click that one And then again, before you pick, go to the properties, and then you can check out here the styles or the text styles that you can use. Again, if you want to create another type of text, so you can just edit type again and then duplicate, change the name, and then select the options or the types that you would like for your text. All right, so for this one, I'll just use 2.mm Arial. And then here on the leader, so as you can see, I don't have a leader here. So that's the option that I have currently. But if you would like to have a leader line, so you can select here 2 segments and curve segment. And then you also have 1 segment here. And then these are just some of the justification. Okay, so if you want, you can always put that at the center. And then you can modify as well the alignment here of your text. Okay, so you can use this just like your Microsoft Office Word. Okay, so for this one, I'll be using 2 segments. So I'll click this one, and then I'm just going to pick the first point here, 1, then pick another point here, 2, and then pick another point here, 3. Okay, and then I'm going to put the notes, all store fixtures by owner. Okay, all caps. And then I'll just click outside, and there you go. And then modify. Okay, right, so let us add another text here. So let's say somewhere here. So I can just copy this one. I can also copy, click, copy, and then you can pick the base point here, and then you can move from here and then modify. Okay, you can do that. So I'm going to click this, and then I'll use the arrow on my keyboard, something like that. Okay, and then I'll just change the text here. So just double click. Okay, Control A to select all, and then I'll just type here the text that I want. So point of sale, equipment by vendor. Okay, so there's another option here wherein you can add another leader line. So let's say you also want to point out this text to this area here. So you can add a leader line. So to do that, you just need to click the text again. Okay, escape first to deselect the floor. So select the text, and then there's an option here, leader. So you can add to the left again or to the right, or you can even remove the leader line, last leader line. For this one, I'll just use add right side straight leader. So just click that, and there you go. So you can just point that somewhere there, and then I'll just do like that. Okay, so basically that's how you place your text. It's very simple, so we don't need to explain much our text and dimensioning. So now for the next exercise, our last exercise for this series of tutorial for Revit Architecture 2023. So we're going to create sheets. So we're going to create a sheet, and after that we're going to add multiple views to the sheet. All right, so let's create a sheet using our title block template. So to do that, to create a sheet, just go to your project browser and then look for sheets, right click the sheets, and then there's your new sheet. So just click that one, and then you have an option here. So new sheet dialog box, so you have an option if you want to use a title block, A1 metric, or you don't want to use it. For this exercise, I'll be using the metric. Okay, so let's use the A1 metric, and then after that, I'll just select here OK. There you go. So there's now our title block. Okay, so now the next thing that we will be doing, we're going to add our view inside our sheet here. Okay, so to do that, so I'm going to click the view here from the project browser, and then I'm going to drag it here. So let's say I want the storefront. So I'm going to move the slider up. There's the storefront or the store floor. So just drag and drop here. There you go. And then after that, you can click There you go. And then modify here. Okay. So you can change the scale of this one. So this one is 1:100. So let's say I want to change this to 1:200, for example. So let's go to the properties and then let's click this view, and then let's change the scale. So you can click the drop down. You can select 1:200 if you want. And you can see that it's now modified. The problem is that your annotation will not change. So you need to have another set of text ready to modify your view. So it's not advisable to just simply change the scale of your view, especially if you already put all the annotation. Okay, but you can change the scale, okay, if you want. So I'm gonna select this back and then change that to 1:100 like that, and then I'll just click this, and then I'll just use my arrow on my keyboard, and then I'll just tidy up my sheet here. And then you see my title here, so I'm gonna click that separately. Just click that and then just drag it up like that. And then if you want to resize the view title line here, so you need to click the viewport. So you click the viewport here, and then you will now see that blue dot which you can adjust. There you go. All right, so let us create another sheet here. So let's go to the project browser, right click the sheets, and then select here new sheet. And then we're going to insert an elevation view. So let's use first the A1 metric and then OK. So let's use an elevation. So elevation, so let's say I'm gonna insert the south elevation like that. There you go. Oops. So there's my elevation. So I'm gonna select my elevation here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to crop this. Okay, so let's crop our south elevation. So let's go to the south elevation here, and then let's turn on the crop region, and then make sure this is also on. Okay, so if you turn on the first time your crop region, it will automatically turn on the crop view as well. So let's modify this one. So let's just move like that, tidy up. All right, like that. And then let's use this one, adjust. Let's crop that. Okay, let's crop this one. There you go. Let's click that. Adjust. Let's tidy up our drawing. Okay, so let's check that one out. So let's go to the sheet again. Expand the sheet. That's the one. Double click that, and there you go. So let's click that and drag, or you can also use the arrow on your keyboard. So you can click the title here separately, and then you can put it here. And then you click the viewport, then click that blue dot there. Okay, if you do not want to show the crop region, you can go back again to your south, and then you can hide your crop region. If you go back again to your sheet here, it's now hidden. Okay, so let's check out if we can fit in here the section. So let's drag and drop the section here. Okay, so like that. Let's align it. There you go. So there's our section. Let's click the viewport to adjust the title here. There you go. And let's see if we can insert our call out. So where's the call out? This one. Drag and drop. There you go. So there's our call out. And let me just tidy up again. So let me adjust this. Let's adjust this one. And then let's adjust this one here. There you go. Let's click this. Let's click separately and then just drag that. Click the viewport, adjust this one. And you will also notice every time you insert a view inside the sheet or title block, you will notice that view will have blue color here. Okay, there's a blue color here. So that means that this view is already inserted inside the title block or the sheet. Okay, see? So that means this view is already inserted in a title block or inside the sheet. And then you can also rename, just put the name here properly. So you can right click that and then rename, or double click this and then go to the properties, and then you can change here the sheet name. So this will gonna be our store. Oops. Store floor. Enter. Okay, so project browser, so it's now updated here, and then you can rename this one as well. Double click that, then change the name, or just right click, rename, and then you can change the name here. So this is our section and elevation. Okay, and then okay, there you go. So it's now updated here. Our store floor, it's now updated here. Okay, another thing that I would like you to notice is that the section that we have created a while ago. So after you create the section initially, you will notice this is empty. So there's no 2, there's no A102. So by default, when you create a section, it will not show you the sheet number or the detail number here. It will only show once you inserted that particular section inside the sheet. Just like this section here. Okay, so this section, we inserted that to A102. That's why if you go to your floor plan wherein you created your section, it will tell you where you can find the section that you created, this section. So this section, you can find that to sheet A102 detail number 2. So look for sheet A102 and then look for detail number 2, which is this one. So this is that section. Same with your call out. So initially, when you create your call out here on our section, when you create the call out, so this is also empty. But since we already inserted the call out, which is this one, inside the sheet in A102, so you will notice that it's already added here, this one. Okay, this call out can be found here on A102 detail number 3, which is this one, this sheet here. Okay, and then there's also another one here. Okay, so there's another detail here, which is this one. So this view, you will notice if you go back to your section 1 call out, this call out here is empty. So why? Because this call out that we have created, which is this one, actually is not inserted in any sheet. That's why on our view here, it's empty. But if I'm going to drag and drop that here, so you will notice it's now updated. So let's adjust that. And let's see if I can still fit this one in. Okay, like that. So let's click this. Let's adjust to tidy up. Click and drag. So maybe I'll go to the callout. You can also double click the viewport instead of going back to the view here. Like what we are doing on our section. Remember, we go to the section and then we modify this. Okay, so you can also do that inside the sheet. If you want to go modify the view, just double click the viewport. So when you double click the viewport, it's like you already double click the detail 0 here. So you are already inside the view. So you can modify that to tidy up your drawing or your model. And then just right click and then deactivate the view. There you go. Adjust, drag to tidy up. And there you have it. Okay. So we now have our sheet here, the floor plan, and then we now have our section, detail views, and elevation view. So that's it for this video. So hopefully you learned something from this. If you have any comments, questions, and suggestions, you can put it on the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.